retired secretary, Dolores Moore, is suing her nephew, 31-year-old technician Edward Tabor, for tires and rims she sold him. Ed says he's already paid. She's just being greedy.
Come to order. All rise. Now, this is case number 65 on the calendar in the matter of Moore versus Tabor. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats.
Miss Moore, the defendant is your sister's son. Is that right?
Yes.
Your sister died recently.
Yes.
Some 4 years ago, according to your complaint, your husband bought a car. And he had either new tires from that car or new tires from his old car, tires and rims. And you tried to sell those for a while. You put ads in the Penny Saver or in your local, whatever, and you got no takers.
Right. Yeah.
And then there came a time last year when you claimed that you sold the tires to your nephew.
Yes.
You say for $800, he says for $600. This lawsuit claims that he never paid you. And in addition, you say that this whole tire business has created certain animosity in your family. You want to be compensated for that too. You can't be compensated for that. Family squabbles happen. The courts are not here to take care of hurt feelings. They're here to take care of money. But I have a couple of questions for you, because your defense is that you gave her the money. Is that right?
Yes.
You had these 4 old tires hanging around for at least 3 years. Nobody wanted them. If you knew that your nephew wanted them, and according to what I read here, Miss Moore, you were a very close family.
Yes.
Why didn't you just give them to him?
They were brand new, Your Honor. They were brand new tires and rims. They'd never been on the road. And I needed the money, so I was trying to sell them.
But nobody bought them for 3 years.
No, but I was selling them for $1,000 or best offer. And I realized no one...
You realize my question?
Yes.
My question is, if you have a piece of property, okay, that nobody wants. Nobody wanted them for 3 years.
But I knew someone would want them eventually.
Eventually, maybe
Ford.
some... Miss Moore, just
sorry.
check me. I mean, I have nieces and nephews. So what I'm asking you is, if you have a nephew, your sister's son, you're a really close family, nobody wants him. It's not as if your husband got the car, he had new tires, your nephew said to you, listen, instead of selling them to a stranger, I'll buy them. Maybe you'll give me a break on the price. You had them sitting in your garage for 3.5 years. Mm-hmm. Nobody wanted them. So why didn't you just give him the tires if he wanted them? To make peace with everybody.
We needed the money so desperately, Your Honor.
For what?
My husband was gone. I wasn't working. I'm disabled. My son is disabled. We rented out rooms to make ends meet. I didn't have any money. I even offered him $20 a month if he'd pay it, just to buy us some, bread, milk, help us. I needed to sell them. I know I couldn't.
But you were trying to sell them.
I did try, yes, I kept trying.
And you weren't successful.
In fact, the same week that it came out in the paper again, because sometimes I'd take a few months and, just try to rest from it. And I just put them back in the paper, and he happened to come over the same day they came out.
You mean the same day the ad came out?
The ad came out, yes.
Okay. And you say he didn't pay you?
I love him dearly, too. I loved them all. If I'd had the money, I would have gave them to him.
Okay. Mr. Tabor, I'll hear you.
Okay, well, on May 30th, on a Memorial Day weekend, I believe, last year, well, we were talking, me and my dad. I just bought a T-Bird in '97. The rims would fit. So my dad said to me that I should offer her $600. Yes, he's here.
Step up, sir.
Would you like me to continue?
Yes.
Okay, he said to offer her $600. He had the cash on him. I went into the kitchen. I offered her the $600. She took it. My cousin Pam Doubt is a witness here. She watched me hand her the money in the kitchen.
Is that you?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Could you step up, please?
And...
You remember this incident, Miss Dad?
I'm a member of seeing him hand her some money in the kitchen. I only went in for a bottle of steak sauce, Your Honor. I didn't mean to get involved in all of this, but they were doing a cash transaction in the kitchen. He was handing her, it was $600 or $700. I didn't ask what it was for. But he had taken me outside that day to show me his new car, and he told me that he was purchasing Uncle Bob's rims. But that's all I know. I did see him handing her money.
Excuse me.
Thank you.
And
Have a seat.
my wife is here because we did pay my father back the money that we borrowed. So, I mean,
So
that's
you
why I
borrowed
brought
this
my
money
wife.
from your dad?
Yes.
What is your last name? Is your last name Tabor?
No, Lily.
Mr. Lilly, had you intended to purchase these rims for your son or to loan him the money when you came this Memorial Day weekend?
No,
You had not.
no. I never give it a thought.
Okay, but you had that much cash with you.
Yes.
Were you there when this transaction took place?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about it.
Well, when they was talking about the tires, Ed did offer $600 because that's really all they were worth as far as I was concerned. Because that's what I told them to offer. And they discussed it. We went outside and I talked to Ed and I talked to Gina. And I told them that I would let them have the money if they really wanted them. And they did want them, so I gave Ed the money.
You gave your son the money?
Yes.
And were you there when he allegedly gave the money to the plaintiff?
I was not in the room when they gave the money to him.
Okay. Who was there, Mr. Tabor?
Just my aunt and my cousin Pam.
Okay. But your aunt is here, is the only one here, and that was
Well,
the steak sauce
my
incident?
cousin, excuse
I'm
me.
the cousin.
You're
I'm
the
the steak
cousin.
sauce cousin.
You're the
That's
steak
right.
sauce cousin.
That's right.
Did you pay your dad back?
Yes.
How long did it take you to pay your dad back?
I would say over 6 months, maybe 8. My wife is the one that gave him the money.
Is that right? Tell me what happened to create this hard feeling with your family.
My mom passed on, and the families had gone south. We don't talk anymore. We've separated.
So what you're saying is that it was your mother who kept everybody together?
Absolutely.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Doris Moore says her nephew Edward Tabor has not paid her for tires and rims for his Thunderbird. Ed says she's been paid.
When for the first time were you contacted about the money for the tires?
I was called, and she asked for money, and I told her I was not going to give her more money for than what she already had agreed upon.
Well, tell me about when that phone call was. How much after your mother died?
It was probably a good 3-4 months before she called me.
Is that correct that you called him about 3 or 4 months later?
Yes.
And what was the conversation when she called you?
Well, it started off about the gathering. Thanksgiving was coming up, and she wanted to know if we were all coming over for Thanksgiving. And I told her no, that we were going to be going to my brother's house. And she said that she made a promise to keep the families together for my mom. And I told her I never told my mom that I would stay in contact with that side of the family. That
The whole side of the family?
Well,
Fair.
my aunt, they play music loud, drink a lot, and that's not my forte for holidays. I prefer to have peaceful family gatherings. We just get together and talk.
Okay.
So then she started mumbling about paying her money, and I told her that
Well,
I
what
had
did she
already
say
paid.
about paying her money?
Well, she did exactly that. She asked for money. And I don't know if, I know that she's been sick. I don't know if she recalls, if she's forgotten. I don't know what the situation is with her, Your Honor, but I told her I had already paid her. I'm not going to pay her anymore.
Do you remember having a conversation, Miss Moore, with your nephew?
Yes, I called to ask him if he had the money because we needed the money. And he said no, that he wasn't working, but his wife was, but they were just making ends meet. I said, do you think you could pay me $20 a month? I mean, that would be better than nothing. It would help us. And he said, yeah. He says, I probably could do that. He says, I'll be over next week. And he never showed up. So then about
Does
3
that
or
sound familiar to you?
No.
He didn't pay anything, Your Honor. I swear to God, he didn't. I'd have never taken him to court if he had him.
You have any witnesses, Miss Moore?
Yes, I have my daughter at Christmas Day. We were invited over to his older sister's. And I was sick Christmas. I couldn't go, so my daughter and my son went for dinner because I went to bed. And
This was Christmas after.
yes, and they had a problem with.
You're her daughter.
Yes.
You know anything about this tire business?
Yes, I do.
Let me hear.
Well, she sold him the tires for $800. And
Were you present when they made the transaction?
Not when they made the transaction.
Okay, so you don't know about that.
Okay. It was at Christmas time. We were all around.
Afterwards.
Yes. And she didn't go because she was sick. And this subject came up where he wanted to buy this game from my brother, the Risk game. And Raymond said that he would sell it to him for $800. And Eddie turned around and said, "What do you mean $800? He says, "I ain't paying you $800 for the thing." He says, "Well, that's what you owe for the tires." And then the conversation started and getting really bad. And next thing I know, Eddie wanted to take Raymond outside and duke it out. I
Just
said,
a minute.
Whoa.
Hold. Step up. Tell me your last name, sir.
James.
Mr. James, according to your sister, there was some talk Christmas time after the tires were purchased, about a game for $800.
Yes.
And you said that's what you owe for the tires.
Right.
Right? What did the defendant say to you?
He said he wanted the game for his wife's sister. I told him, well, give the money for the tires and I will give you the game, $800.
That's because your mother had said that he still owed her the money for the
Right,
tires.
exactly.
But,
And I go, you give me that money and I will,
And
transfer the game to you.
and what did he say to you?
And he said, let's go right now, outside.
Okay, so he did not at that point acknowledge that he owed any money for the tires.
He didn't tell me anything about that.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Anyways, then after that, I calmed him down. We started to leave, and he followed me outside and pulled me off to the side, and we started talking about the deal about the tires. And he's saying, well, what about all this stuff that happened long? I turned around and I said, Eddie, all that stuff doesn't matter. That was a long time ago. I said, you bought the tires, you owe the money. And he more or less said to me, well, I owe the money, maybe she'll get it, maybe she won't.
Did you have that conversation with her?
I walked her outside, Your Honor,
Yes.
after the discussion with me wanting to beat up my cousin. Of course, he's quite a bit bigger. I'm not a fool. So anyways, she did start bringing up the matter of money, and I told her I'm not going to pay for something that I've already paid for before. Now, I don't owe her any money. I have paid her, and whether she has told her children that or not is beyond me.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I can tell you that I don't have much to do with the family, not because I don't enjoy them, it's just that the family dynamics are extremely unhealthy.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dolores Moore wants her nephew, Edward Tabor, to pay her for the tires and rims she sold him.
Tell me about the conversation.
She asked me if I was going to pay for the rims and tires, and I told her that I had already paid for them. I told her that I had no intentions on paying her again, and that the families are better off without this kind of problem every holiday. And that is exactly why we do not have family gatherings like we used to
May I
when
say
my mom
something?
was alive.
Yes.
We never had any problems at family holidays.
No.
Never. We always, the family has been very, very close for a very long time.
So what do you think happened?
I really don't honestly know. I would like to know the answer myself, because every
So would I.
Christmas, every Thanksgiving, every 4th of July, every single holiday, Memorial, Labor Day, everywhere, they all came over, we all barbecued, they all had beers, everybody shoot pool, we have a pool table, and everybody got along just fine. When my aunt died, my mom promised her on her deathbed that she would keep the family together. That was my aunt's main goal. Please,
Yeah, but
Dolores.
there has to be a reason. I don't understand.
I don't know
these
what the
results.
reason is, Your Honor. I don't know. When my mom called to ask everybody over for Thanksgiving, the oldest daughter, which is his sister,
How
said,
could your mother invite everybody for Thanksgiving? She just told me she doesn't have money to put bread on the table for herself.
because everybody, I help her. I give her money. My Aunt June gives her money. Everybody gives her money so we can get this big family together. My mom is struggling. She owns her own home.
You're-
She's, got payments.
Yes.
May I say something? After my husband passed away, he left this money clip, and it has a buffalo nickel in it. He may even have it on him, I don't know. But he wanted it so bad, and so I would have took it down and got it engraved just for him. That's how much I loved him. I would not hurt him if it wasn't unfair.
Your Honor,
I also have a tape that his dad, stepdad, left me on Mother's Day,
Yeah.
and it's an awful tape.
Your Honor.
I don't want to
Your,
hear
May I play it?
I don't want to hear it.
Your
It's
Honor.
awful.
Well, why would I want to hear something awful? Did you leave a tape for her?
Yes.
I
He uses
have quite a temper, especially when I know sue happy people, which she has sued several people.
I have not.
When sue happy people are trying to get money out of my son. He's my stepson, but I never claimed him as a stepson. He's my son.
How long have you known him?
Since I was 17.
He was 17.
So,
He left a message. I heard him leave the message, Your Honor.
Was not
and
nice.
he
We won't
did
repeat
tell
it.
her that he will be in court to testify.
To prove that she's a liar.
He used the F word.
I got you. There's nothing you can do about it. Can I ask, can you sit down, sir, for one more minute? Could you step up here, please? Just give me your relationship to this family. You're a cousin. How are you a cousin?
Eddie is my cousin. His father is my mother's brother. I'm not that close with the family. I've gone to Aunt Dolores' house twice. I do call her Aunt Dolores out of respect. And I can tell you that I don't have much to do with the family, not because I don't enjoy them, it's just that the family dynamics are extremely unhealthy, and I prefer not to be involved. I went out of respect. My Aunt Alice was dying. It was the last time I knew I was going to see her.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See, what she is saying, madam, is, and I believe her. I must tell you that I believe her. I see no reason why she would lie
She's a wonderful lady.
about seeing an exchange of money on that Memorial Day between your nephew and you. Now, maybe it's
wasn't there.
possible.
That was the first time he wanted to buy him, Your Honor. They wouldn't fit his car.
You just
They
told me
wouldn't
that.
fit his car.
Just
No,
listen
they
to
wouldn't
No,
me.
fit
he
his
went
car.
out and bought him a T-Bird so they fit.
The tires wouldn't fit
The
on the old
tires
car.
wouldn't fit on his old car.
So he went and got another car.
When was that?
That was about 2 years later, a year and a half later.
What
he
day are
bought
you talking
another
about,
car.
madam?
I'm stunned.
Well, step up here. Just let me finish
That
this.
was the first-
On what day were you at? What year? Let's try year.
Last year, Memorial Day.
That's last year, Memorial Day.
Correct.
Okay. It was the last.
That was the last time I
That
saw
you were
my-
there.
Absolutely.
So there's no question about that in your mind. It wasn't
There is no
2
question
years
in
ago.
my mind. I mean, I knew it was the last time I would see her alive. I was there. They know I was at their home.
Okay.
Yes,
And
you-
that's the time that you saw the exchange of money.
That's when I saw the exchange in the kitchen.
Okay. And was that the day you got the tires?
Correct.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Listen to me. I have to make a judgment. Okay? I have to make a judgment on who is telling me the truth. Put your hand down, sir. On who is telling me the truth. Now, it is possible that your mother was under a great deal of stress.
Yeah.
It is possible that she doesn't recall. It is
It's not.
possible. All of those things are possible, but I have to make a judgment based upon who I believe. And I will tell you,
He did not pay
I
for
believe
those
her.
tires. He
I
did not.
believe her. Case is dismissed. That's
Parties are excused. You may step out.
so.
Old Shirley Lyons claims former friend, 42-year-old Cheryl Washington, stole her wedding ring.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 10 on the calendar in the matter of Lyons versus Washington. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Young man, have a seat, please.
Mr. Lyons, you're really not involved in this case, so I'm going to ask you to sit down, sir. Mrs. Lyons, from what I read, you two ladies met while you were both patients in a hospital and became friends. And after you were both released from the hospital, you continued to see each other. And on one day, the defendant came to your home. According to your papers, while she was at your home, she stole a piece of jewelry from you.
Yes, a wedding ring.
What makes you think that the defendant took your ring?
She was the only one that was there. It was just her and I, and when she left, my ring left also. I put it down on the coffee table. We had left the house to go and get a pack of cigarettes for her. We stopped by and bought a bottle of wine. And we came back and we were looking through my CDs and playing music and talking, conversing. And I took my jewelry off, set it on the coffee table, took my shoes off, and went and changed into a house dress and came back. When she left, she borrowed a couple of CDs from me also. She said she was going to be bringing me my CDs back that weekend, which she didn't do. While I was, when I found out that my ring was missing.
How much after she left did you see your ring missing?
About 10, 15 minutes. I started cleaning up the coffee table from cleaning the ashtrays up and putting the CDs up when I noticed it was gone.
Why would you take your wedding ring off?
Because I was at home.
I know, but most people
I don't wear my wedding ring around the house. I don't wear any jewelry when I'm at home.
Was it a plain gold band?
It was a gold Marquise cut, and I had the enhancer to it. I didn't put the enhancer on that day because I was in a rush, and I didn't even put all my jewelry on. I just put my wedding band on, just the one that had the diamond in it. The enhancer I have now.
What's an enhancer?
It's the second part of the ring. It connects to the Marquise cut.
Let me see what she's talking about.
She might be wearing it right now.
I doubt it. I see. Okay. So the proof that you have with regard to this is the fact that she was the only other one in the house. You had taken it off, and when she left, 10 minutes later, you looked and there was no ring. Did you take her ring?
No, I did not.
Your Honor, this is not the first time that this has happened. I'm not the only one she's done this to. I have a witness that I'd like to bring in now to speak on my behalf of her character.
I'll hear your witness. Where's your witness?
Okay.
Yes, can you tell me your name, please?
Lisa Williams.
Miss Williams, how do you know the plaintiff?
I met her through the defendant. Oh, her? Right there?
Yes.
She's my sister.
So the defendant is your sister?
Yes.
And how long have you known the plaintiff?
Not long. I've only met her once before.
Well, what information do you have with regard to this ring?
That my sister does have a habit of taking things that don't belong to her, and I'm sure that she has a ring on her finger right now today that she took from me, as well as a leather coat.
What kind of ring did she take from you?
It's that kind of like a S-shape, figure S-shape ring with a diamond in the center.
When did you discover your ring missing?
I knew she had the ring. She borrowed the ring. She never gave it back. Now she won't give it back because we have other issues that are going on.
According to you, you let her borrow it.
Yes, I did.
And she just didn't return it, but she didn't steal it from you.
Well, it's stealing if you borrow something for someone and you don't return it.
Sit down.
Well, Your Honor, I know she stole my wedding ring.
Tell me how.
Because, Your Honor, when she left, my wedding ring left. Which makes it even worse, I tried calling her, and she avoided me. When I finally did get in touch with her, it was on Thanksgiving Day, and I had my husband go over and pick up my CDs before I confronted her about my wedding ring. And before I got a chance to confront her, she goes, well, I'm going down to see my husband down at the halfway house for Thanksgiving, and I'm not going to wear all my jewelry because you see she's draping with jewelry, and it's not even hers, it's all OPPs, other people's property. She said that she wasn't going to wear all her jewelry, she was just going to wear her wedding ring. That to me made me feel like she was just trying to feel me out to see whether I thought it was her that had taken it or if I had missed it at all.
That's not true. For one, the day that I left Shirley's house, the reason I left Shirley's house, for one, was because she had a cat that was running in and out, and I'm allergic to cats, and my eyes swelled up. She went and got me a washcloth, and I was telling her I was going to leave because of the cat. I started wheezing. At that time, I had Shirley call my son to let my son know that I was on my way home to have me a breathing treatment ready. The following morning, Shirley called my home, thanked me for coming over and for the wine. The next day, I didn't hear from Shirley. That Thursday, her husband called me and said that he was coming over to pick up some CDs. So I said, fine. And he came over, me and the kids were in the living room, he spoke to me and the kids, he got the CDs and he left. That Friday is when her husband called me and told me that Shirley said I stole her rings and that I better return them or he was going to call the police on me. And I told him I did not have Shirley's ring. I don't have to steal Shirley's ring. I have enough jewelry. And from that time on, Bill continuously called. And I just told him to quit calling and harassing me and to do what he has to do. I don't have his ring, her ring.
Yes, sir.
And that was the last I heard of it.
Your Honor, I work for Lockheed Martin, and I have a secret clearance. And the thing of our job is you tell the truth. That's the best thing in the world, and that's what I tell my kids. So I'm only here to tell what I know. I'm not a witness to the theft of the ring. But I also know my wife befriended her in the hospital, brought her a blanket.
Yes,
looked after her in the hospital, invited her kids over to swim. They all had a nice time. And that's on 2 occasions. The third occasion, my wife never wears, she always takes her jewelry off. And I've always told my wife, you should put your jewelry in specific places. This particular time, this lady was over there, and my wife told me that the ring was missing. And she was very upset, because that's very important to her.
Yeah.
But wait just a minute. And so I tore that living room up. I tore the house up. If that ring was there, it would have been found. It hasn't been found yet. Now I still walk around paranoid looking for it, because I would rather have the ring than be here. So all I'm saying is, my wife is a very honest person, but things that she's done, stolen, won't return other people's stuff that she has. She won't. She's a thief, and I'm sorry, and that's it.
Judge Judy continues former friend Cheryl Washington for theft of her wedding ring.
First, let me return this.
Oh, one other thing. Just this ring fits. I mean, I don't think she'd be that naive or stupid to come to court with that ring. But if you would ask her to come up and see if that ring would fit any ring on her finger, because it has 2 prongs to fit in. And if it does, it belongs to my wife.
You just said to me she wouldn't be stupid enough to wear that ring to court.
But she wore her ring when she went to court and still denied that she had taken the ring.
Show her your rings, please.
No, she doesn't have it on.
Doesn't have it on.
Mr. and Mrs. Lyons, I am not suggesting to you that the defendant did not, in fact, take your ring. The problem is, when you're in court, you have to have proof. You understand that. Did you, in fact, call the police?
Yes, I have a police report, too.
Okay. And I'm certain that the police told you that just the fact that the defendant had the opportunity to take your ring doesn't mean that you had sufficient evidence
Your Honor,
that she did. You have a cat?
No, it's a stray cat, and I feed a stray cat.
Fine, but there was a cat pay attention to me. There was a cat that kept running in and out of the house?
Yeah, the cat came in once. I put the cat out. It did mess up her eyes. But I don't believe it was really the cat. She was wearing blue contact lenses, and I think the contacts
doesn't make any difference. What I'm suggesting to you is she may have been the only person in the house.
She stole my ring, Your Honor.
Miss Lyons, I'm not saying that she did not. I'm saying that in court, you have to have proof that satisfies the judge or that satisfies a jury. You have to have more evidence than what you have. And while she was in your home and you noticed the ring missing shortly after she left, that's insufficient for a court to make a finding that she's a thief. I'm not saying she didn't take your ring.
All the jewelry she has on right now is stolen. She can't produce one receipt for any piece of jewelry that she has on.
When did you find out all these terrible things about Miss Washington?
Well, just by knowing her character and what I've heard from other people that know her also. And her sister is just the only one that I could get that could come to court and testify about really what type of person she is. She's awful.
Well, then what did you befriend her for?
I didn't know this before. I've only known her for 5 months, and the only occasions that she came over my house, it was like maybe 3 times.
First time she didn't take anything?
No.
She didn't go inside.
Second time, what do you mean she didn't go inside?
It was a pool party, a barbecue and a pool party.
You mean a barbecue and a pool party? Nobody had to use...
Yeah, she went into use of that.
Of course she did. You knew exactly where I was going.
I didn't say that.
No, but I'm saying that if there was a barbecue at a pool party, somebody had to go inside to go to the bathroom.
She didn't have an opportunity to steal it then because it was put away.
She didn't take anything the second time she came to your house?
It wasn't laying in front of her on the coffee table either.
I don't think Miss Washington is a stupid woman. Why would you?
Yeah, she is.
Well, maybe. In any event, I've tried to explain as best I can. I am not making a finding that she did not do it, but I cannot in good conscience find that she did. Case is dismissed. That's
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I didn't take her ring. And as far as my sister's concerned, that's another whole story, and we'll deal with that some other time.
She's my sister, and I love her, but I don't like her. We don't get along because she does steal.
She can be friends with my sister.
She's a horrible person. She might have got away with this, but she's not going to live with because she doesn't have a conscience, because she steals everybody's jewelry that she goes into their home. And it's terrible.
And now the next case.
All parties on Bishop versus Hall. Step forward, please.
24-year-old healthcare provider Brandy Bishop claims the father of her 2 children, 25-year-old video store clerk Thomas Michael Hall, owes her for an income tax refund.
Miss Bishop, you and Mr. Hall have 2 children together, but were not married. Is that right?
Yes.
That's correct.
In the year 1999, For part of that year, you were living together. And then there came a time when you separated. When was that?
In November.
And where did you go?
I went to my aunt's house.
Now, in 1999, were you employed?
Yes.
And were you employed?
Yes, I was.
This lawsuit is about a tax refund because you claim that you agreed with the defendant that he could claim the 2 children as deductions on his tax returns in exchange for him giving you half of his refund. That's what this case is about.
Yes.
Okay. What kind of work had you been doing in 1999?
Home health care.
What is that?
Assisting elderly people.
How much did you earn? You did file tax returns in 1999.
I made about $10,000.
And what kind of work were you doing?
Warehouse labor.
And how much did you earn in 1999?
Close to around, I think, $7,000.
How much?
$7,000.
So she earned more than you did.
That's incorrect. She never did work in '99. She was home in the house. Matter of fact, she was taking care of the kids while I was at work.
Well, you didn't support your family on $7,000 a year. Where was the other money coming from?
When I wasn't working, because I worked most of the time at the end of the year, I had to apply for aid because he was in and out of jail and couldn't keep a job. Called me 2 o'clock in the morning, said, come get me. He got in a fight with one of his co-workers.
So am I correct that you were receiving welfare?
Yes, in the beginning of the year.
Is that correct, sir?
That's correct.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
We've been kicked out of several places because he's either gotten in a fight with the landlord or pulled his pants down and ran down the street. He has a bad drinking habit.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Brandy Bishop is suing the father of her 2 children, Thomas Michael Hall, for an income tax refund.
What month did you start working?
It was like June, July.
Of 1999?
Yes. I work for my mother, and I've been doing it since 6 of 96.
Well, does she pay you?
She pays me, or the person I work for pays me. It all depends on what I'm doing.
How old are your children?
1 and 3.
How much of a tax refund did you get, sir?
I received $1,943.
And that's from $7,000 worth of income?
That and the earned income credit from the children as claim deductions.
Well, you got that 1943 based on the children, clearly, right?
That's correct.
You say that you never had an agreement with her to give her half the tax refund.
That's correct. I never did have an agreement. She's ever since we split up, she's been really resentful, and matter of fact, every time I've come to pick up the children, she throws that in my face about the money. She says, if you don't have my $900, you can't get your kids on my visitation days. And
well, so why don't you just give her the money? It's reasonable that you give her the money.
Because
it's not reasonable that you keep all the money.
Well, as a matter of fact, she even claimed her children that don't even live with her. She has 2 other children that she claimed don't even live with her for last year.
Your Honor.
Just a second. That has nothing to do with this case. That has something to do with another father. We're talking about these 2 children. Your 2 children. You got $1,943 because you say you supported the children during the calendar year of 1999. For at least 2 months out of that period of time, she wasn't even living with you, right?
That's correct.
Were you paying support during those 2 months, November and December?
No, I wasn't. I had the kids with me during that time up until February of 2000.
So they were actually living with you?
That's correct.
Full time?
That's correct.
Is that right?
Off and on. They were with both of us. There was just no court orders. We were sharing the children. There was no court orders.
Okay. Let me see a copy of your tax returns. I see that you have no papers with you, so you don't have copies of your tax returns.
I haven't gotten them back yet.
Mr. Hall, in order to claim the children as a tax deduction, tax was never my strong suit. But I seem to recall that you have to be able to establish that you paid more than 50% of the children's support. You didn't pay more than 50% of the children's support.
During the times that I wasn't supporting him, we were on AFDC, that's correct, but she never had any provable income nor income at all. I feel that with what I did make, I filed his household because I did support the family and the kids.
Who paid the rent?
I paid the rent.
How much was the rent?
The rent was close to $300.
Your Honor, that's not true.
No, that's impossible.
We've been kicked out of several places because he's either gotten in a fight with the landlord or pulled his pants down and ran down the street. He has a bad drinking habit.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Mr. Hall, It is unreasonable for you to keep all this money for yourself, sir. Whether she supported the children in working as a home health care aide, she says she earned about $10,000 last year, even if she earned less, even if she only earned $5,000. Let's say even if she was receiving public assistance. That means that you were each contributing to the children's support. That doesn't mean that you end up with a windfall. Why should you end up with this $2,000 windfall?
Because she's fraudulently filed for the last 3 years on money that she's never even earned.
Your Honor. Just a second. Why would you claim money that you never earned to the government?
She's done it. I've been there when she's done it. I've been there with her.
Explain that to me. This is a new one. You mean somebody files tax returns and say that they earned more than they actually earned?
That's correct.
Can you think of a rational reason for any person to do that?
Because she is a very money-hungry person, and if she has an edge on getting money, she will do that.
Explain how that happens, Mr. Hall. How do you think that that happens?
She went to the preparer, and she explained that she made money, cash money, but it was not provable, and they said, well, you need to file a 1099 on that.
Yes.
She never followed through and filed it, but she still got money back. It did happen. I don't know.
Your Honor, just a minute. You think that if you haven't paid in any money to the government in taxes, you can tell them that you made cash, and they give you back money that they never got?
Up until you get audited, I'm sure you could do that.
You are not entitled to a windfall, Mr. Hall. Let's get this down, Pat, so we get it down to the dollar and cent of it. $1,943 divided by 2.
$971.50.
Judgment for the plaintiff. Thank you very much. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
47-year-old John Astorga is suing his ex-wife, 42-year-old vocational nurse Paula Dela Cruz, for their children's expenses when they lived with him.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 96 on the calendar in the matter of Astorga versus De La Cruz. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Mr. Astorga, you and the defendant were married for how many years?
8 years, I believe, to be.
And when were you divorced?
Back in '98.
And you have 2 sons?
Yes, we do.
How old are the children?
13 and 15.
According to your complaint, there came a time, about a year or so ago, when your former wife was moving out of the area where she had been living with the 2 boys. And the 2 of you decided that the boys would come and spend the school year with you since you lived in their school district. Is that right?
Yes, I would say to a certain extent, Your Honor. The reason they came to live with me is because Paula and her husband had been separated at the time, and they got into a financial situation, so she had to move out of the home that she was in, which was a 3-bedroom apartment, and she had moved into a 1-bedroom apartment. So, being that I had a 2-bedroom apartment, the boys were in my school district, so they did come to live with me based on that fact.
Then there came a time when the children went back to live with their mother. She had a support order reinstated against you. Now you're suing her for that time, the support time that the children were living with you.
Right, that is correct, Your Honor.
Did you have a discussion with your former husband about child support?
Yes, I have released him on several occasions of rearages because he's either not had a job and they were going to take away his license. So at one point I have documentation here where I signed a paper to the DA releasing him of over $1,000 in rearages that he was supposed to remain paying me child support.
Can I see that, please?
That's a copy from the district attorney's file.
This was back in 1996.
Right. Okay, that's what I'm getting at. Okay, so then in '96 he was supposed to continue to pay child support, and then in '98 he again got into rearages, and I again released him of child support.
Can I see that, please?
And it was September of '98 that I released him of paying child support, but he agreed to help me pay for clothes and stuff for the kids.
Okay, just a minute. How much was your support order back in 1996, sir?
I have it right here.
$158 a month.
Well, that's not a lot of money for 2 children.
No, it's not, Your Honor.
There came a time, sir, in 1996 when you fell in arrears in the amount of $1,345, according to this document. Can you tell me why that is?
Well, unfortunately, I've been disabled, Your Honor.
How did you support yourself?
Through odd jobs.
Odd jobs, right.
Yeah.
So from odd jobs, you pay $158 a month for your 2 children.
Yes, I did. Yes, I
No,
did.
you didn't. You fell into arrears of $1,345. Just answer my question. Is it correct that your former wife released you from child support in the amount of $1,345 in 1996?
Yes, she did, but she also received a van back in '96 for the $1,400, Your Honor.
What do you mean a van?
Yes, I have a document here if you wish to look at it.
That van was ordered to me in L.A. when we got separated. That van was ordered to me because I had the children and the judge ordered me to have the van for transportation for the children.
Well, this does say that this release of the van had to do with the release of child support payments, madam.
Right, but he was
Okay.
supposed to continue to pay child support.
Continue to pay?
Right.
After that?
Right.
Okay, so
And he
that this piece of paper that you showed me releasing him from child support was really covered by the van. But then he was supposed to continue to pay.
And he got into
Did
arrears
he
again.
pay? All right, so let's forget this.
Okay.
All right, let's forget that piece. After 1996, did he pay his child support?
Up until September when he got into arrearages again and I released him again. That's that letter you have there. In '99, beginning of '99, I was supposed to go to the DA and have him start him paying child support again. That's when I had my personal problems like he was talking about, okay? At that time, we made a verbal agreement because we both decided we didn't want to disrupt our kids' schooling. They go to very good schools. So we made a verbal agreement that he would keep the kids Monday through Friday to keep the kids in school. They would come home on the weekends. That started in March. They came home on the summer, and they went back when school started again at the end of August. I have receipts here from 1999. It totals almost to $1,400 that I spent on my children. I also work, I supply their medical coverage, I supply dental coverage, I supply vision coverage. I paid for Eric's glasses in 1999. They were $130. I have a court order here that he's supposed to pay half of that, which he never did. I finally put my foot down and said, I'm not releasing him anymore. He has not been helping me. In December, when Christmas vacation came of '99, the boys came home with me for Christmas vacation. I didn't let them go back. My husband has been helping me transport them back and forth to school. He's asked him to help for transportation. He says, no, I will not do her any favors. He says, that's not a favor to her. Those are your kids. I've ordered him to start paying child support again. February, he was supposed to pay me $158. He only paid me $79. March, he was supposed to pay $158. He only paid me $79. May, he was supposed to pay.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay, and she's well aware of why. On February 5th, Your Honor, I was involved in a motorcycle accident. Okay.
How were you on a motorcycle?
Because I do funeral escort.
He's supposed to be disabled.
Just a second. You do what?
Funeral escorts, Your Honor.
I thought you were disabled.
I am. Okay.
And you were riding a motorcycle?
Well, I don't have to lift it or push it. The individual that I'm working for did not have workman's compensation coverage. So I did not have an income. And she's well aware of that.
Mr. Astorga, I want you to listen to me. I'm just playing around. I have divided $158 by 4.3. That's how many weeks there are in a month.
Yes, ma'am.
That comes to $37 a week.
Right.
Divided by 2.
Right.
That is $18 per child a week. Let's divide that by 7.
Mm-hmm.
$2.62 a day is what the court has ordered you to pay.
Okay.
$2.62 a day. Now, it appears to me that there has been a long pattern by you of not paying child support.
Judge Judy continues in a moment as his ex-wife Paula Dela Cruz owes him for expenses when their children lived with him.
Did your former wife pay for the boys' clothing?
She has an 18-year-old at home that she was also providing clothing for, too.
Did she provide
I don't know.
for the boys while they were living with you clothing?
No.
She
That's
didn't?
not true.
No.
Just a minute.
No,
She
Your
didn't?
Honor.
You bought them their clothing?
I bought most of their clothes. I have
Well,
receipts here, Your Honor.
Good. Let me see the receipts.
Can I show you mine?
Okay, these are all the receipts of the... Okay, this is a computer. Wait a minute. This is an electrical... There was also a computer that was purchased during the duration of my children's stay because they required computer-generated homework.
So you bought them a computer.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you send it home with them when they went back to live with their mother?
No.
So you have it.
I have the computer, yes, but
So
they
why
do
did-
come over and use it periodically.
So why didn't you, if the children are with their mother, and you purchased this computer for their computer-generated homework, and they're now living with their mother, why didn't you give them their computer?
Why didn't I?
Yeah.
Well, I felt I wasn't being compensated. I mean, it's
All right.
bad
What
enough
do you
I
mean
had my
comp-
children for a
Just
whole
a second.
year.
Why, what do you mean being compensated?
Well-
How do you compensate for your
well-
children? How much did you spend on the computer, sir?
I paid for the computer $851, Your Honor.
When did you buy the computer?
I bought it back in August 22nd of '99.
And then you paid all of these amounts for the children's clothing.
Yes, ma'am.
So explain to me why, sir, that in the year 1999, you spent more on a computer than you did the entire year before on child support when the children were living
Okay.
with their mother. Explain that to me.
I will explain
that you're
that
able,
to you.
That you're able to do that.
Okay, the reason being is because my children were living with me on a week basis and staying with her on weekends.
Sir, I'm not talking about that year. I'm saying
no,
to you
that
in the
was-
year that the children were with you.
Yes, ma'am.
You weren't doing anything more that year because you were disabled than you were doing this year. So
Okay.
explain to me, sir, how you were able to pay off $1,000 and all these other bills for your children.
Okay, I will explain
Just
to you.
a second.
Okay.
And since the children are back with their mother, you haven't been able to pay $2.62 for each of your children for child support.
I just explained that to you. February 5th, I was involved in a motorcycle accident.
How do you support yourself now?
Right now, I had money saved.
You have money saved?
I had.
Mr. Astorga, let me explain something to you, sir. You've been getting away with murder since 1996.
I don't think so, Your
Oh,
Honor.
I think you've been getting away with murder since
No.
1996, sir. It costs more than $2.62 a day to feed my dog.
Okay.
More, to
I
feed my
understand
dog, and my
that.
dog weighs 5 pounds. And you have the audacity to tell me that you believe that $158 a month for 2 teenage boys is a reasonable share for a parent to pay for their children and not pay it. And you want her to pay you for the 8 months that the boys were living
No.
with you? Get out of here. Case dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm taking him back to court. We have a court date in August, and the judge is going to order him to find a job, so he's mad.
And now the next case.
All parties on Gallo versus McDonald. Step forward, please.
44-year-old gas station attendant David Gallo is suing his former longtime girlfriend, 32-year-old financial consultant Jeanette McDonald, for half the value of the furniture they bought while living together. Jeanette is countersuing for harassment.
You and the defendant were in a relationship, according to your papers, for 13 years. And you have a child together, a girl.
Correct.
How old is your daughter?
She's 10.
According to your complaint, Mr. Gallo, when you separated, your arrangement was that the defendant could keep all of the household furnishings.
That's correct, ma'am.
And in exchange, you would keep 3 cars.
Yes, ma'am.
Sometime after you separated, you loaned her some money.
Yes, ma'am.
And when she didn't pay you back, you filed a small claims case against her.
No, ma'am. She wrote me a post-dated check on it that bounced twice.
Whatever. You filed a small claims case
Yes,
against her. And she filed a countersuit for half the vehicles.
Yes, ma'am.
Then it gets a little more complicated. On the day that that trial was set, according to you, your brother became ill? Or
No,
he
my
di-
brother was in intensive care from a head wound. He died the day before court.
Okay. And you called her and you agreed to postpone the case.
Yes, ma'am.
But she went to court anyway and got a default judgment against you for $3,500.
Yes, ma'am.
So that you now want half the cost of the furniture but you estimated $10,000, so you want $5,000 because she breached the agreement.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss McDonald, you have a counterclaim because you say that since the separation, Mr. Gallo has filed numerous lawsuits against you, causing you all kinds of harassment and stress. When did you separate?
We separated in December of 1996.
And at that time, he took the cars.
Your Honor, the story that I just heard you say is absolutely the first time I've ever heard that in my life. There was no agreement for cars versus furniture. This is the first time I'm hearing that.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He was arrested for willful cruelty to a child when he tried to kill my son. He stepped on his throat.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. David Gallo says ex-girlfriend Jeanette McDonald owes him for half the value of their shared furniture. Jeanette says this is David's third frivolous lawsuit.
Did he, in fact, take cars at the time you separated?
There were cars left, yes.
And you took the furniture?
Some furniture, yes.
Did there come a time when he gave you some money after 1996?
Not that I recall.
But he did file a small claims case against you?
Yes.
You did then file a counterclaim having to do with the cars?
Yes.
That were left 3 years before?
Yes.
That doesn't sound right to me, Miss McDonald. That sounds like to me, if he's going to give it to me, I'm going to give it to him.
When I left him, he started filing suits against me. And
when was the first lawsuit that he filed against you?
In '99. However, prior to that, he was arrested for willful cruelty to a child when he tried to kill my son. He stepped on his throat.
That was in 1996, according to you?
Yes. And that's
Ms. McDonald, pay careful attention to me, madam. The first lawsuit that he filed against you was this lawsuit for $800.
Yes.
And you chose to retaliate by filing a counterclaim for $3,500 for property that, even if you had part interest in, you had really abandoned over 3 years. I find that suspect, Miss McDonald. Now, did you or did you not have a conversation with Mr. Gallo about his brother being ill and then dying?
No, I did not.
You mean there was never any understanding between the two of you that he was not going to appear on the adjourned date?
No, he called me the day before our court hearing, and he said, yeah, I'm having personal problems, so I'm not going to make it up there. And I said, well, what do you mean? Well, I continued it, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I called the court, and I said, can he just continue the day before? And they said, no, only the judge can grant the continuance.
Had he made a request for a continuance?
Evidently, he had faxed the court letter saying that something, but I found out about that later.
So he did, in fact, call you and tell you that he was moving for a continuance?
Yes.
Because he had personal problems?
Yes.
Did his brother, in fact, die?
I don't know.
Well, you know his brother. I mean,
No,
you were together
I don't.
for 13 years.
I never met him.
She has met my brother, Your Honor.
In any event, she went there and she got a judgment against you for $3,500, which I believe
Yes, sir.
which I believe is bogus. The only thing that I can do with regard to that case, Mr. Gallo, is to make you whole, sir. Making you whole would give you a judgment for $3,500. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now let's get to your counterclaim, Ms. McDonald. You say he has filed numerous cases against you. I'd like to see them, please.
The second one he filed is for $2,450, half of household furnishings at time of separation. That was dismissed because he filed it in the wrong venue, and so no action was taken after that.
Okay, so that's the second one. That was after you got the judgment against him for $3,500.
Correct.
Okay, and what's the next one?
Is this one for $5,000 for, again, half of the household items after separation with a different separation date.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Let me tell you what I find, Ms. McDonald. That $3,500 counterclaim that you filed was just to get even, and that was the first lawsuit that he filed against you in small claims court. The first, according to you.
Lawsuit, yes, but the harassment has been vandalism to my house. My propane lines have been cut. He put nails in the driveway. I have pictures of nails thrown in my driveway. He does everything he can to harass and make my life miserable.
The one lawsuit in small claims court was about the $800. And if he hadn't lost that, my sense was that he wouldn't file the rest of them over the furniture. In any event, on your lawsuit, sir, I am awarding you $3,500. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And on your counterclaim, I'm dismissing it. That's it.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. 30-year-old property manager Amy Mussolino is suing ex-boyfriend, 39-year-old health service manager Joseph Vietz, for his share of their daughter's orthodontist and therapy bills.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 147 on the calendar in the matter of Mussolino versus Vietz. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Miss Mussolino, you and the defendant had a relationship back in the early 1990s, and that relationship produced a child, Kelly, who is now 8 years old, according to your complaint. You state that the defendant is under a court order to pay 1/2 of any unreimbursed medical bills for the child, and that he has not done so, especially with regard to the child's therapy.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Vietz, your defense is that you're not consulted, that you feel as if the child is over-medicated, but primarily your complaint is that nobody asks you anything, just asks you to write a check.
That's a lot of it.
Well, you'll tell me what the rest is in a minute. Can I see a copy of the court order, please?
Yes, ma'am. These are actually 2 court orders.
Thank you. Okay. First of all, I assume, Mr. Vietz, that you petitioned the court for a transfer of custody to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And the resulting order indicates that there would be no transfer of custody to you, sir, but the court did, in fact, grant you extended visitation with the child.
Correct.
And that the court also found that there was sufficient evidence to find that you had interfered with Mr. Vietz's visitation with the child and issued you a warning.
Yes, ma'am.
The court also, in that order, clearly states that the therapist who had been treating the child was to continue as her therapist, and that the two of you were to cooperate with that therapy. So what's the problem, Mr. Vietz? Have you, in fact, paid the unreimbursed bills for therapy for the child?
No, ma'am, I have not.
So the onus now is upon you to convince me why this order should not, and I'm not acting as an appellate court, but unless there is something outrageous.
There is.
Well, then, I'll hear you.
Okay, thank you. Well, first, Your Honor, I need to make clear to you that I was not made aware of any outstanding bills whatsoever until I received a summons regarding those bills on May 16th, at which time I requested a bill of particulars. First off, I'm disputing $600 of orthodontist bills in the bill of particulars. Ms. Mussolino took it upon herself to select an orthodontist not covered by my good insurance. There are several available in our area. Instead of commuting 60 or 70 miles away to Richmond to one that's not covered by my insurance, she could have gone to Hampton, Newport News.
Okay. Is anything that you're suing for here about orthodontic bills? Or is it all about therapy bills?
It's I have a listing.
Let me see
if you would like it.
I thought it was all therapy bills. That's what she talks about, therapy bills. Okay. What's the Medical College of Virginia?
That is for orthodontists.
What did she start orthodontia for at her age?
She actually has a problem with her tongue. She has a tongue thrust problem.
She's a tongue thruster.
Right. And she not only may need braces, but she may need an appliance, which is called a tongue crib. They've actually are deciding that currently.
Why did you select the Medical College of Virginia for her treatment?
Specifically because the total price was $1,800, and the orthodontist who is covered under her insurance, which her father does provide, is $3,200.
But the $3,200 would or would not have been covered under his insurance?
No, that would be the portion which we would have to pay.
Okay. So if your complaint is, sir, that you chose somebody that wasn't covered by your insurance, that's a reasonable explanation, that she went to the Medical College of Virginia, listen to me, because it would ultimately be cheaper for both of you.
Do I have some proof of that, or is that just hearsay? If Ms. Mussolino would communicate with me so we could work things out for the betterment of our child and the bills that we have to split, perhaps we could make some progress here.
I believe her because it would not be in her best interest, because she has to pay 50% too, to choose somebody that was more expensive rather than less expensive, right? Doesn't make sense.
Unless you have valuable assets such as 8 years experience and friendship with a practicing orthodontist that may give you a break on the side, Your Honor.
Don't give me a break on, listen
if
to
given
me.
the opportunity.
Listen, don't give me a break on the side. Everybody saved money. If all this orthodontia is going to cost us, according to her, $900 ultimately, because the total price is $1,800, trust me, you're getting away with murder. Let's hear the rest of your complaint.
All right, Your Honor. There's also on her list of bill of particulars, you'll see a $300 bill. It was on 5/5/99. That was for the doctor to be a witness on Amy's behalf in court back in '99.
Now, is that the Psychiatric Services of Virginia? Pay attention to me. You bill him $1,155.
Yes.
Does that include $300 for a court appearance that the doctor made to testify on your behalf?
Yes, it was a court appearance. No, it was not on my behalf. She was coming as our daughter's therapist to speak about our daughter.
That's not included in the judge's order. He's absolutely correct. So I'm eliminating $300. So that brings us down to $902. What else, sir?
Your Honor, on that same sheet of paper highlighted in pink at the top and the bottom of the page, you'll see 2 bills for $50, I believe, each for family psychotherapy. The others listed I did not highlight as individual psychotherapy for my daughter, and I'm not disputing that. I'm the one that originally sought out help for my child once I learned of the trauma she had experienced.
Actually, what he's discussing, his wife took her to in July of '99. He has visitation for the entire month of July. So she did, I believe, go in and participate with therapy.
That's not correct.
Well, one of them is in July of 1999. According to the order, you have visitation all of July. Did you take the child for therapy?
When she was staying with us in July, I did have to take her one time.
You did take her? And did you speak to the therapist?
I did when they were done.
She charged you?
For talking to her after she saw the patient.
No.
I didn't know any idea that she did. This is the first time.
Well, she did. But that, Mr. Vietz, is covered by the order, because it says that the petitioner and respondent, the two of you, are to continue to cooperate fully.
If this is family psychotherapy, Your Honor, the last time I checked, I am the father of this child. I'm family.
You should have taken her.
I'm not allowed to. There's no
no,
communication. She will...
Listen to me.
Yes.
Child was with you during July of 1999. Instead of you taking the child to the therapist, you had your wife take the child to the therapist. You should have taken the child to the therapist if you wanted to be involved.
The original appointment that I was going to take her to was rescheduled. I was not available for the next one.
That's not her fault.
I would
do
like
you understand what I'm saying? If something else was more important or something else more pressing, you permitted your wife to take her. If it was rescheduled and if it was not a good day for you, you should have told the doctor, I'm not available on that day and I would really like to come in to see you. Instead, you let your wife take her. Forget it.
Judge Judy continues. Amy Mussolino says ex-boyfriend Joseph Vietz owes her for his share of their daughter's medical bills. Joseph says Amy won't consult him regarding their daughter.
Okay, what's next?
Well, Your Honor, actually, this whole case...
Just a minute, I want to know if that's it with regard to money.
I'm disputing the entire thing.
Well, you can't dispute the entire thing. The entire thing is covered by a 1999 order, Mr. Vietz.
That is supposed to fully comply, fully involve both of us, which she will not do. The order says fully.
Just a second. When was the last time you personally contacted Dr.
The last time I contacted her was the time that she told me she can give me no information whatsoever concerning my child because I'm the non-custodial parent, and that I was wasting my time, is what she had told me.
Was that before or after she appeared in court?
The same time, a day or two around the same time.
And you had a lawyer?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Then if you had a lawyer, sir, your lawyer was obligated. This is what you wanted. You wanted to have total access to the child's medical, dental, and school records. That's something that is dealt with all the time in court. Either your lawyer raised that issue before the court, and the court said no, which is bizarre, or your lawyer didn't raise the issue, in which case he or she was remiss in not raising that issue, and you still have an opportunity to go back and have that issue resolved.
And I will.
And you can. So, Ms. Mussolino.
Yes.
One of the things that he is complaining about is that he's not consulted. Now, that may not be an easy thing to do because he may be resistant when you try to consult with him. But if what he is requesting is that he have access to the child's school records and medical and dental records and open communication with the child's therapist, that's a very easy thing for you to resolve even without going back to court. And then, if he doesn't avail himself of picking up the telephone and calling, that's his problem.
He's never discussed it with me.
Well, now we're discussing it. Listen, I'm trying to resolve this issue. $902 is what he owes. What I'm asking you is, are you prepared to enter into a stipulation with Mr. Vietz that permits him the same access that you have to all of the child's records?
That's fine with me.
Fine. That's what she says.
Thank
That's fine. So, sit down, do it today, right outside. It's a very simple order.
That's wonderful.
Is that okay?
That's fine.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $902.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Parties are excused. Step out.
Cool. All this woman did was birth my child and bill me for everything.
This is the first time in 6 years which I've sought any money for anything.
And now the next case.
All parties on Goldsmith versus Red. Step forward, please.
39-year-old steelworker Richard Goldsmith is suing his ex-girlfriend, 29-year-old student Sean Red, for an unpaid loan to buy a house.
Mr. Goldsmith, according to your complaint, sir, you and the defendant dated for a while and lived together for a short while. She was purchasing a home, and when it came time to close, she was missing some money, about $4,000. Is that right?
Correct.
Correct.
And you loaned her $4,000.
Yes, I did.
You lived together with her in the home for a couple of months with an arrangement that you would pay her $500 a month for your share of the rent, utilities, whatever. You did not pay her that while you were together.
Right.
So you knocked off $1,000 from the loan. Then you separated, and she made one payment to you. You want the remainder, which is $3,000 less $80. It's your position that this was never a loan. Is that right?
Correct.
Tell me the circumstances surrounding you giving her the money.
Well, we both had an agreement to where she paid me $80 every...
Now tell me the circumstances surrounding her telling you that she needed the money.
She was short $4,000.
Let's start out.
Okay.
She was buying a house. There came a time when she needed some extra money.
Correct.
You were sitting in the living room. You were sitting in the bedroom. You were driving in the car. Where were you when you had this discussion?
My living room, in my apartment.
Were you living together in your apartment?
Yes, we were.
How long had you been living together?
2 months.
Is that right?
Approximately 2 or 3.
Were you paying rent while you were living in his apartment?
I paid rent. I paid other bills for him. I did grocery shopping.
No, that's...
Yes, I paid rent.
How much rent did you pay? Is not an answer.
It varied.
No, if it varies, you don't vary with rent. Were you paying rent?
Yes, I was.
How much rent were you paying?
$250.
That's not true. That's a good made-up answer, but it's not true.
Right.
Of course it's right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're sitting in your living room. She said to you, I'm supposed to close my house and I'm short $4,000. You said to her, that's what I want to hear, sir. I don't want to hear about this.
I said, okay, I will lend you $4,000.
Oh, you mean I just guessed it right off the top?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Richard Goldsmith says ex-girlfriend Sean Red owes him for a loan for the down payment on a home. Sean says Richard has threatened to burn the house down.
Okay. Let's not play with me, all right? Let's do this quickly, efficiently, with honest answers. All right, so you're sitting in your living room in the house where you had been living rent-free, according to you, 3 months. And
we had an agreement to where if she borrowed $4,000, she would pay me $80.
Not an agreement. I don't want to hear agreement. I want to hear what she said to you and what you said to her.
She said she'd promised to pay me $80 every 2 weeks.
Are we missing each other?
What do you need to know?
I want to know how she told you she needed the money.
For a house payment, $4,000 short.
Are you his interpreter? I mean, I think he needs an interpreter. You're sitting in your living room.
Correct.
She said to you, honey, I have a problem. I'm supposed to close my house and I'm short $4,000. And you said to her, that's what I want to hear, sir. I don't want to
I
hear
said,
about this.
okay, I will lend you $4,000.
Oh, you mean I just guessed it right off the top? Oh, they don't pay me enough for this job.
Sure.
You're right. Okay. Did he give you the $4,000?
Yes, he gave me $4,000.
In check or cash?
I think it was cash.
It was check. I have the check, right?
Let me see. Okay. And when you gave her the check, she agreed to pay you back.
Correct.
Tell me about the $80 that she paid you.
I went to her house and told her that I'd appreciate if she'd come over and pay off some of her debt. So then very next day, she'd come over. My roommate, Chucky, answered the door. She handed me 4 20s. I said, hold on, I'll get you a receipt. And she flipped me off and walked to her car and left. She said, I don't want no damn receipt.
So, let's hear you.
Richard and I dated for a while. He did lend me the money after he had conveniently cleaned out my bank account and I no longer had the money for my mortgage.
How did you clean out your bank account?
I lent him money for all kinds of things.
Give me an example.
I paid to have his motorcycle fixed. I paid to have it fixed twice, as a matter of fact. I paid bills for Richard.
When she did pay for my motorcycle, I did pay her back.
Okay. So far, I haven't heard about any loans. So far, I just heard about what you paid for.
Well, because a relationship is give and take. He needed money, I gave it to him. I needed money, he gave it to me. After we broke up and he wasn't around the house anymore, he continuously harassed me.
I'm not interested in that. If you didn't want it to harass you, you got to pay him back his money.
He wasn't harassing me for money, Your Honor. He never mentioned money until he got in trouble with the law and needed some money to pay whoever.
Well, now he's here.
I understand that, Your Honor. He harassed me constantly. He harassed my sister. He came to my house one time, told me that if I didn't open the door, he was going to burn the house down with me and my children in it.
That is such a lie.
It is not, Richard.
What difference does it make?
I come knocking out.
What difference does it make?
How was I supposed to pay him back when I had to quit my job because he would not leave me alone?
Why does one quit their job because someone doesn't leave them alone?
I was a bartender, Your Honor. You can't have a man coming in there constantly leaning over a bar screaming at you.
One time.
No, not one time, Richard.
One time.
So how did you support yourself?
I just do. I've been doing odd jobs. I'm going to school.
Going to school doesn't usually pay you a salary.
Well, but eventually in the end it will.
Oy.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Okay. Now, the right thing to do is to return his money to him. I mean,
Then he should return the money that he borrowed from me.
I don't have any evidence, madam, that he borrowed any money from you. You didn't have an arrangement with him. You paid for some groceries, but it didn't work out. And if it doesn't work out, you got to pay him back his money. Bird, I have a sense that there's a lot more here than I'm going to get out of this case.
Probably so.
Right? Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,920, giving you credit for the $80 that you paid him, and $1,000 for your rent. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Kathy Jones and her husband, Robert Jones, are suing Kathy's ex-husband, 39-year-old delivery man, Louis Serpa, for his share of their daughter's graduation expenses.
Order. All rise.
Your Honor, this is case number 160 on the calendar in the matter of Jones versus Serpa. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mrs. Jones, the defendant is your former husband, or plaintiff is your present husband. When were you divorced from the defendant?
1982.
1982?
1992. 92.
1992. And how many children do you have together?
3.
How old are they?
One's going to be 18, one's going to be 16, and one's going to be 13.
The 18-year-old is a girl?
Yes, she is.
Lives with you?
Yes, she does.
Where do the other 2 children live?
My 16-year-old daughter lives with me, and my son lives with my husband, ex-husband.
So the 2 minor children are split up?
Right.
Your lawsuit seeks half of your daughter's, your 18-year-old daughter's graduation expenses, her gown, her prom tickets. Right now, there is a court order that says neither one of you are responsible for the support of the children because each of you has a minor child living with you. Is that
Correct.
right? Was there an agreement between the two of you to share these high school graduation expenses?
Yes, there was.
Well, tell me about the agreement.
I never agreed to anything.
Just a minute. She's going to tell me. I'm going to give you an opportunity.
I asked Lewis if he could help me out with some of the expenses. He told me he would send me a couple $100s in a couple weeks, and he never did. And then he told me that Jennifer was no longer his responsibility.
Okay. So according to you, at best, he said to you, I'll send you a couple of $100.
That's what he
That's
said.
$200.
All I wanted him to do was help me out.
Okay. Well, my concern is that you're suing him for $500.
Because now I'm suing for half, because, you know, he is a biological father. He should at least help.
Yeah, we just basically wiped out our savings account and everything else through, you know, for this whole prom and graduation thing and everything else. And
Mr. Jones, one of the things that concerned me in Mr. Serpa's answer was that you chose his daughter's graduation from high school as the time to serve him with a small claims suit.
That's right.
Why did you do that?
Well, because he lives in Bakersfield and we're in Sacramento, and otherwise we'd have to pay to have him served. And he's a truck driver. You know, it's hard to truck.
Well, how much do you think it would cost you to have him served?
I'm not sure what they charge. I think it's like $35 or something like that.
Right, to have him served.
But then the sheriff's
Right.
got to track him down and everything else.
Just a minute. Not so hard to track him down. You have an apartment,
I have a house.
and you have a 13-year-old living with you.
Yes.
It's not so hard to track him down.
But Lewis is not there all the time.
I don't care whether he's there all the time or not. Who was present when you served him with these papers?
My 16-year-old daughter.
My 13-year-old son.
Yeah.
And what about the graduate?
She was already down coming in. She didn't know that it was being done.
But it was done in front of the other two children.
Right.
That was a big mistake. You don't inflict your anger on an event that's supposed to be a joy for children by serving their father with a small claim suit. I assume the small claim suit was for the graduation expenses.
Yeah, and prom.
They actually used my 16-year-old daughter because she came over with one of his friends, and she introduced me to him, and then he served me with the paperwork.
What had you told your 16-year-old daughter about this person?
No, this was a neighbor of ours across the street that served the papers.
Did you tell your 16-year-old that her father was going to be served with papers by this person?
Yeah.
She knew.
Well, tell me what you told her. Who spoke to her?
Well, you mean when she went up to introduce our neighbor
Listen,
to her?
before you got to the graduation, there had to be a plan, a plot.
Actually, no, she didn't know it at the time. When we got there,
we
didn't know how to get the papers to him, so I asked Laura if she wouldn't mind taking Rodney over there, because Rodney wanted to see Nick anyway.
Okay. If she wouldn't mind taking Rodney, your next-door neighbor, over to her father.
Right.
Go ahead.
And then that's when Rodney gave him the papers.
So is now what you're telling me that your daughter did not know he was going to give him the papers?
She knew. I mean, she
So
didn't want to go over there, but she did it anyway.
What do you mean she didn't want to go over there?
Well, because she just hesitated, but she went over there to take
What do you
Rodney
mean she
over.
hesitated? She didn't hesitate. She said something to you. She said, I don't want to do this?
No.
What did she say?
She just kind of gave me that look like, well, Mom, but she went. But she didn't say nothing. She just
She
did
sounds
it.
like a good kid to me. You had no right to do that. You people are not doing the right thing to your children. You're not.
Neither is he.
No. This was a very bad thing to do to your children. This was a very bad thing, far worse than a couple $100 for a prom dress or a graduation ring or anything else. It's a far worse thing to enlist the aid of your 16-year-old who really didn't want to do it. She didn't want to be involved with it. You made her a co-conspirator in what you decided to do, which was to serve him papers on the date of your daughter's graduation. There isn't a question in my mind that your 18-year-old who graduated knew about what had happened. She may have known about it afterwards.
She knew before. She told me that was going to happen.
She told you that it was going to
She
happen.
knew that you were going to get served papers, but she didn't know when that day.
She didn't know it was that day. She
Right.
just knew it was going to happen.
So you think that she was happy or not happy when she found out that her father was served on her graduate?
Well, I'm sure she wasn't happy about it.
So why did you do it?
I didn't have any other way to give it to him.
Of course you did. You mean you don't
Am I
see a
supposed to drive
13-year...
down there and give it to him?
Absolutely. If it's a choice between doing it on graduation day and getting in a car and driving down with your next-door neighbor and serving him with the papers, that's what you do.
But then we got to go through the
I
problem
wasn't
of trying
happy
to
about
find
it being
him
done
and
that
trying to
day.
track him down. I mean, he was already in Sacramento. He was there, you know. That's
Case is dismissed, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It's just that there's no way of tracking them down, you know? I mean,
No comment.
My daughter was really just devastated about me getting served. I went down after graduation, I told her, and she was really devastated. She was hurt.
And now the next case.
All parties on Coleman versus Smith. Step forward, please.
20-year-old sales rep Shireen Coleman is suing her former landlord, 63-year-old retired secretary Gloria Smith, for slander, harassment, and invasion of privacy. Gloria is countersuing for harassment, mental anguish, and destruction of property.
Miss Coleman, you rented a piece of property, residential property, from the defendant and claimed that she turned out to be the landlady from hell. According to you, she slandered you, she maligned you, she invaded your privacy. Ms. Smith, on the other hand, said that you were really a problem tenant and that the only time that you filed a lawsuit against her was after she had moved to have you evicted. When did you move to have her evicted?
On the 9th of June.
Has that matter been heard
Oh,
yet?
yes, the sheriff has already posted the property on June 13th.
What does that
or
mean?
July
posted?
13th.
What does that mean?
That means that they came out and gave the property back to me. They moved out that morning.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Shireen Coleman says her former landlord, Gloria Smith, slandered her, claiming she's a drug dealer.
When did you move in?
We moved in the 19th, which was a Friday.
Of May?
Yeah. I have the rental agreement here, as well as the receipt for the money paid.
Okay. She doesn't say that you didn't pay the rent. Is
That's
that
right.
right?
That's right.
There's no dispute about that. So you tell me what your problems were with her that you believe a court would compensate you for.
Okay. She slandered me, Your Honor, to my own boss. Okay. This is my employer right here. She called me a drug addict. She told me that I was a lowlife.
Wait 1 second. She didn't tell this to you. She told this to your boss.
Correct.
Okay. Would you step up, please? Tell me your name.
Donna Stewart.
You want to tell me about a conversation that you had with the defendant?
Shireen called me to come over and be with her to pay the rent for a witness because she had been giving her a hard time. She gave me the cash for the rent. I wrote a check to her. When we went over, their neighbors, right next door to each other, she started screaming. They were drug addicts, losers. They couldn't make any money. The boss had to pay the bills.
Didn't you find it odd that Miss Coleman asked you to go with her to pay her rent?
No.
Why not?
Because I know the story. It goes back before that.
Right, because there was a pre-existing situation that existed between these two people.
Yes.
So it is peculiar to have somebody come with you to ask you to pay your
so,
rent.
yes.
Of course. So that they had had a problem before. Now, were you aware of the fact that Miss Smith wanted Miss Coleman out of the property?
No, not at that time.
Well, she did want you out of the property, correct?
This was before that.
Miss Coleman, what kind of problem did you fear when you went to hand her the rent check?
That she wasn't going to accept my rent for some odd reason.
Right. If she wasn't going to accept your rent check, then you must have known that she wanted you out of the premises, right?
Yes.
What led you to believe that?
Because her actions toward us...
Why don't you just have a seat? Because this guy's got ants in his pants. He's
well, no,
dying to get up here.
I
Why
lived
don't
there
you...
with her. I lived there with her.
This is my
And
fiancé.
the problem was the day that we tried to pay the rent, I removed the fascia board on the bottom of the house. Okay, when I removed the board, the stucco on the house fell all the way down to the chicken wire. We have pictures of it here to show you. When I did that, I told Gloria that I couldn't fix it. She needed to get a professional to repair it. She said she was going to repair it with a can of concrete fix-all and some newspaper in there. So therefore
that stuff off for?
She asked me to remove it. We were going to repair it and paint.
That's before.
This is pictures of it before I took it off.
And here's pictures after.
And here's pictures after I took it off. That was in the agreement that we were going to remove them, paint, and apply new ones.
And what date was this?
The day we paid our rent, the next rent.
It was the 5th of June. This was before that we received the eviction notice.
Okay, and Lee had approached me and asked me for the rent.
Okay. Now, Miss Smith, did you, in fact, do you acknowledge, in fact, that you said to this lady when she went to give you the check that she and or her boyfriend were drug addicts?
I never had a conversation with her. She only brought over a check on June 20th. After the eviction time, she brought a cop with her, and demanded me to come get the rent. And then she says, do I have to take you to court to force you to take the rent money?
No. Okay.
And I have the police report.
Well, this could be resolved by showing, you say that you went to pay the rent on June 5th.
Which I have the
Show
receipt
me either
for.
the canceled check of June 5th.
Here's the receipt from Miss Smith.
From Gloria and Lee.
Yeah.
It was June 20th.
Because Lee had given us the receipt to
problem
begin
was-
with. And I said I needed a receipt from Gloria because Lee didn't have nothing to do with our rental agreement, landlord, co-owner, nothing. So therefore...
This is dated June 5th for $150, and there's another one dated June 5th for another $150.
There's one for the 19th, ma'am.
When Lee accepted the check, he marked cash, and he signed it. I further asked Gloria, can you please sign it? Because you had told me previously you didn't want him on...
How much was your whole rent?
Our whole rent for the first month was $550. She offered to break it up in 2 payments, $400 on the 20th and $150 on the 5th, for the first month only.
So far, is that correct?
So far, that's right.
Okay. Because I do have a check for $400 on the 19th, and I have a receipt, $150, 2 payments of $150 on the 5th of June.
Right, there was only one payment there.
Okay. So how much was the check that you gave her? 150?
Yes.
Yes. 150?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you did have a conversation with her?
No. They
Never.
brought me over the check. I have not talked with that lady, except to tell her to get off my property when they came onto my property illegally.
Who came onto your property?
Miss Alvarez and her husband climbed over my fence that's marked posted, no trespassing.
That's not.
And I have witnesses to that effect.
Where?
Well, they couldn't come today because
Then I'm not
I have
interested. Then I'm not interested.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You telling me you didn't allow anybody who was using drugs, and they said to you, we used to use drugs, but we don't anymore?
Right.
You're fibbing, Miss Smith.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Shireen Coleman says her former landlord, Gloria Smith, slandered her, claiming she's a drug dealer.
What was the problem that you were having with these people when they moved in? I mean,
when they first moved in, they seemed very nice. I mean, they come across that way. Within a couple of days, they even admit they partied during the middle of the night.
What do you mean they admit that they partied during the night?
Well, they said they were out there laughing, joking, and drinking in the middle of the night. They played a joke on the neighbor behind the house. And there's a little green light that they had on when they first moved in.
Yeah.
And the police said, that's a warning light, you better get rid of them, because that can mean illegal activity in the police terminology, and I could lose my home.
Barbecue is a party, Your Honor.
At 3 in the morning.
We sat out in the on the patio and had barbecue and drank beer, yes. This is one of our neighbors, if I could call her, please.
Miss Tana up? She is one of our neighbors who live across the way. She is also a witness to Mrs. Smith's previous activities with all of her neighbors. Every tenant that comes in there,
I don't want
they
to
get
hear
evicted.
about. I only want to hear about you.
Okay. And she
the one that
lives
she's
across the
witnessed.
way.
Go ahead,
Your
Mama,
Honor,
please.
if I may.
No, just a minute. Are you related to any of these people?
No.
You're just a neighbor. And how long have you been a neighbor of the defendants?
I lived in the duplexes across the way.
Okay.
And I've been there about almost going on 2 years.
Okay. You have anything to contribute to this case?
When we first moved in, she'd put a note on our car for destruction of property, was going to have us arrested.
I don't want to hear
Yeah,
about that. I want to
okay.
hear about this lady. Did you ever hear the defendant slander Miss Coleman?
Yes, she was yelling about being the drug addicts.
You heard that?
Yes.
When?
There was like 2 occasions.
Who was she yelling at?
At people that was like coming in and from her yard. I mean, just standing out there hollering.
Okay. You have a cause of action here, Miss Coleman, for invasion of privacy.
That's correct.
Okay. You want to explain that to me?
She has seen Miss Tanner in my home when I am not there.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
On which date?
You know, I don't know the exact date. I always sit out on my front step, and I seen her go inside of the house when they were not there. But I didn't know.
Okay, but you don't know whether she had asked for permission or not?
No, that's why I
Because you
didn't.
don't know the dates.
Right.
Ms. Coleman, did you in fact give permission to the defendant to go into your apartment on certain dates to do repairs?
She gave me the 24-hour notice, and on those days I was home the whole time that she said she would be there. She never came in. Other than that, I have not given her permission to enter my house.
Your Honor, there's something I'd like to say about her witness, if I may. She was subpoenaed by the Superior Court of Riverside to appear in court on my behalf because this is the second tenant she's gone to court to lie for.
I'm not so sure she's lying. I'm not so sure that either one of you has a cause of action. and I'm not so sure that you weren't permitted to go into the apartment, whether she was home or not, to do repairs. But I am concerned, Ms. Smith, quite frankly, about the statement that I do believe that because of perhaps something that you heard from the police about a green light as being cause of illegal activity, and they had a green light outside of their house, that you, in fact, said to other people that the plaintiff and or her fiancé were drug addicts. I believe you said that.
No, ma'am.
Oh, no, I believe you said that.
No, ma'am.
Well, I'm the judge.
I know.
I'm the judge. And I'm
know,
telling you,
but-
you look like a very nice lady, but I
know,
believe
but-
you got mad, and I believe that you called them drug addicts to other people, and you have no right to do that. You have a right to take them to court, and you have the right to have them evicted, which you did. The only thing that I am going to address here is the issue of slander.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
There is some defense to slander if the accusation that you made, which was calling them drug addicts, was true. So if you wish to tell me what proof you had that either of these two people were drug addicts, then that's a defense. You want to tell me?
Well, they admitted they were doing drugs when they moved in.
Who did they admit that to?
To Lee and I.
Let
But
me
they
hear
wanted
that.
a second chance.
Let me hear that. Come on, let me hear it. I want to hear
They
it.
just says we've been doing drugs, but we're trying to get clean.
That is not true, Your Honor.
And to give them a second chance.
Why would someone who comes to rent a house from you tell you, unless you were taking them in from a facility, shh, quiet, Miss Smith, come and tell you that they were both recovering drug addicts and they wanted a second chance?
Because we told them we did not allow anyone who were doing drugs on the property.
So were you telling me you didn't allow anybody who was using drugs? That was a statement that you made for them, to them, and they said to you, we used to use drugs, but we don't anymore?
Right.
You're fibbing, Miss Smith. You're fibbing. Big time. Maybe a nice lady, but a nice lady who's not telling the truth. And I find that you did, in fact, you may have had cause to evict them. You have an absolute right to go to court and have your property returned to you, which you did. You have no right, without proof, to call somebody a drug addict to their employer or to a neighbor. And on that charge alone, I'm awarding the plaintiffs $2,000. That's all. Thank you,
Parties are
Judge.
excused. You may step out.
Yes.
Judge Judy continues. Computer salesman Ronald Carter is suing his ex-girlfriend, 23-year-old nurse Catherine Overby, for a down payment on a car. Catherine has a countersuit claiming Ronald assaulted her with a knife.
Order. All rise.
Your Honor, this is case number 200 on the calendar in the matter of Carter versus Overby.
How are you, Bird?
Good, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mr. Carter, according to your complaint, you and the defendant decided to start to live together. You were living in one city, she was living in another city. You joined her where she was living, and you needed a car. According to you, you went shopping for a car. You gave her $1,000 towards the deposit for the car. So far, correct?
Yes, correct.
You lived together for a while. It didn't work out. She kept the car. You want your money back.
Yes.
You have a counterclaim. Counterclaim is on the day that you decided to ultimately break up, Mr. Carter became very violent, and there was an incident in the car that involved not only an assault, but certain destruction of your property, correct?
Correct.
When did you decide to purchase this car together?
In February.
And you had not yet moved down to where the defendant was living,
That's correct.
correct? And you went shopping for the car, and what kind of car did you decide to buy?
It was a 97 Toyota Camry.
Did you go together?
We went together to pick out the car. When we did the agreement and all the dealer papers, this was done. Okay.
Everything is in your name?
Correct.
You say from the day the car came off the lot, he drove it?
Correct.
How long did you drive the car, sir?
1 month.
Till March?
Yep.
Is that when you broke up?
Yes.
When was the first car payment due?
It was end of March. I'm not sure on the exact date.
Do you know?
We purchased the car on 2/23. The first car payment was due on 3/23, which I paid in full myself.
When did you have this argument?
The argument happened on 3/23.
On the day the car payment was due?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Now, How much did you put it down as a down payment?
I put $1,000 down.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. So, Miss Overby, this romance lasted 4 weeks after you purchased the car, correct? Okay. Now, let's say that he used the car for an entire month.
Correct.
And the car payment was
$37.38.
And you acknowledge that you used the car for the whole month?
Yes, correct.
Well, do you think it's fair, Miss Overby, that he should be out his $1,000?
Considering the trauma that I've gone through, the vandalism to my car...
We'll get to your counterclaim in a minute.
Okay.
Let's forget counterclaim for a second. Let's talk about his case. You think it's fair?
I do, considering he used the car for the whole month.
But what if, Miss Overby, we did what would be a common sense thing and say to Mr. Carter, look, you used the car for a month, and the car payment for that month was $337. So I'm going to deduct the $337 for your use of the car, right? You couldn't rent a car for less.
Yes.
And I'll give you the balance. Are you following me?
Correct, yes.
Would that be fair?
Yes.
Now, when you broke up that evening, according to what I've read, you came home and found him loading his stuff into this new car.
Correct.
And it was your intention to take the car.
Just to take my stuff back to a location in Boston.
And what did you intend then to do with the car?
I talked to her before. I said if she wanted to keep the car, all she had to do was just return my deposit, or if not, she could go down and transfer the lease into my name. You know, that way it would free her up. But she chose just to want to take the car and go.
You think it's fair, don't you, that you pay for something, some part of that car?
Yes.
Okay. Bird, I'm going to try to work this machine now, you know.
Okay.
This may take a little time. This is not my strong suit, this calculator machine. Ah, 663. Did it. Okay. So, according to what I see, sir, that's $663 that you owe her. Now, you have another small amount of money that you say you spent on this car, and that was to register it.
Registration, which she didn't put anything in.
Okay, and how much did it cost you to register the car?
Like $220.
Show me.
That one, she has it because it was in her name. So all the registration is in her name.
Did he register the car?
He registered the car.
Did he pay for the registration?
He offered the money to me. He gave this money to me as a gift. He said in order for us to do anything together as a couple, he wanted us to be a strong couple.
Why don't you just give me an answer?
Yes,
did he pay
did.
the $220?
Yes, he did.
Okay. And I'm going to give you credit, sir, for the $220 you spent to register the car. Because there are some interesting lessons here. One of them is, you don't buy things jointly unless you're married. Because courts get irritated if they have to resolve these things between people who are foolish enough to try a living arrangement and then buy cars together and houses together and credit cards together, and then we're asked to take this mishmash and make it right. There are more important things we have to do in courts. You understand that? Next time you decide to live with somebody, keep it separate.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. Ronald Carter says his former live-in girlfriend, Catherine Overby, owes him for a down payment on a car. Catherine is accusing Ronald of kidnapping her at knife point.
Now, let's hear what kind of a bad person you were on the night you broke up, because Miss Overby says that her counterclaim is a serious one. Is that right, Miss Overby?
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
I was at work. Mr. Pickett had bounced a check to me on behalf of my son due to his non-payment of child support. This is my son's father.
What are you doing sitting over there, sir? I mean, what are you doing here in court?
The initial broke up instigated between those two, which trapped me in the middle. But
Sit down. Sit down. Okay. He's your child's father. He bounced a check. What happened with him? March 23rd.
I go home from work that evening at 10 o'clock. Ronald was coming down the stairs with bags of stuff and putting it in the car. I said, Ronald, I said, what are you doing? He goes, I'm taking the car. And I said, you can't just take the car. That's considered auto theft. And he said, I don't care. He said, until I get my $1,000 back, I'm stealing the car. I told him, I said, listen, I said, he's acting completely irrational. I totally believe to this day, Your Honor, that this man has an anger problem. And he needs to deal with it because it's very dangerous. I went to the ATM.
Just a second.
What is she talking?
Just a second. So he said he wanted his $1,000 and he was taking the car until he got his $1,000. And you believed he was irrational, but you got into the car with him anyway.
Yes, because he was threatening to steal the car.
All right. A car is a car. Your life is your life. You're supposed to be smart, but you got into the car. And you got into the passenger seat of the car.
I got into the driver's seat of the car at that point.
Well, you didn't end up in the driver's seat.
Correct.
Because he got into the driver's seat, according to your complaint.
Correct.
How did that happen?
I was driving down a highway in New Hampshire called 93.
You were driving?
I was driving at this point. He put a knife to the back of my neck and had control of the wheel and insisted to me to pull off at exits. This man had a knife to my neck. He made me pull the car over. He told me to get out of the car and move to the passenger side, which I didn't. I switched seats within the car. And then he drove.
Where did he drive to?
He drove to his mother's house in Roxbury, Massachusetts.
Okay. Were you talking while you were doing this drive? Were you talking about your problems?
Right.
Were you talking about your problems, Miss Overby?
Yes, we were talking about our problems.
Were you talking about the relationship and how it didn't work out? Were you talking about your son? Were you talking about your son's father?
I was talking about how I wanted to go home to my son. I said, if you're going to kill me, I said, let me give my son a last kiss goodbye, because without me, he has no one.
But were you talking about anything else other than that, Miss Overby?
I told him that, I said, you're completely acting irrational. So I said, I want to leave. I said, I don't ever want to see you again. I said, stay away from me. Don't come near me. I was begging for mercy.
Okay. So then you get to his mother's house, right?
Correct.
And he takes his stuff out of the car?
Yes.
And according to you, he took the keys to the car, too?
Yes, he never came back with my keys, Your Honor.
So what did you do?
I waited outside for about 10 minutes to see if he might come back. Then I decided I would knock on his mother's door. His mother came out probably about 15 minutes later, and she said Ronald wasn't there, but kindly let me into her house so I could call AAA that night.
Why did you take the car keys, Mr. Carter?
Because she tossed some of my CDs, so I tossed her car keys.
What do you mean she tossed some of your CDs?
The CDs that I had in the car, I was taking with me. She was like throwing the stuff out of the car, so I threw her keys down.
Did you take any of his CDs and throw them out of the car?
I gave him all of his stuff back.
That's not my question. My question was...
No, I did not, Your Honor.
Yes, you did. You see, put your head down. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I gave him all his stuff, but I threw him out of terror.
You threw them?
Right.
So you threw his CDs on the ground?
Correct.
And then he took the car keys and...
I tossed them.
Where'd you toss them?
Like, it's like, I guess, like in a yard right by where we parked in front of the house. But she didn't see where the keys got tossed.
Did you have a knife in the car?
No.
Tell me about the car ride, Mr. Carter.
I was driving to my mother's, and she kept trying to, she wanted to work things out, and I kept saying no, and then she like went in some driving 90 miles per hour, smoking a cigarette, drinking a soda, just doing everything at one time. So I felt that she was like incapable of driving, so I asked her to pull over, and that's when I completed the ride home to my mother's house.
When did you go to the police, Miss Overby?
I went to the police that night.
Do you have a police report?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it, please. Did you tell the police that he slashed the car tires?
Yes, I did.
Why?
Because when I came out to catch the locksmith, the tires to my car were slashed. I also have a AAA report, too.
Can I see it, please? Mr. Carter, did you slash her tires?
No, I did not.
Who slashed her tires, sir? It's much too coincidental.
That's a story that she made up.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
When she went out to wait for AAA, she found the tires slashed in her car. Who do you think did that?
You just say she didn't slash the tires.
Because you would have to be an idiot to do that.
Well, you don't know Catherine.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ronald Carter claims ex-girlfriend Catherine Overby owes him $1,000. Catherine says Ronald assaulted her with a knife.
Oh, Mr. Carter, let me tell you something, sir.
Yes.
I believe that there's a little truth in what both of you are saying about what happened that night. I do believe, Miss Overby, that there was more of a discussion in the hour that you were traveling to his mother's house than just how terrified you were. I do believe, however, Mr. Carter, that you slashed her tires, or you knew who did. Do you want to know why, sir? It's too coincidental, and because the AAA report indicates clearly that the tires were slashed once they got there. The initial report to AAA was that she needed somebody to respond because she had no keys. That telephone call was made from your mother's house,
Yes,
right?
correct.
And you were not there,
No.
but you were somewhere.
Yes.
And then when she went out to wait for AAA, she found the tires slashed in her car. Who do you think did that?
I have no idea. But the case that she brought, all charges were dismissed.
Of course they would dismiss, Mr. Carter, because without any proof,
That is
beyond a reasonable doubt, which is the quantum of proof in a criminal case, they can't proceed. The quantum of proof here in a civil matter is less than beyond a reasonable doubt. It's just more evidence than not. You rely on your common sense. Do you understand? It just doesn't seem logical to me, sir, that somebody else, during that brief 15 minutes while she was in your mother's house waiting for the AAA to respond, didn't like the car and went over and slashed 2 tires on the car. Where did you go, Mr. Carter, when you went home?
I went to my friend's house,
Did you go out the back door?
out the back door.
Did you have to put new tires on the car?
Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm.
I have a receipt for the tires.
Okay. Just for my own information, what was this initial argument about on the 23rd?
On the 23rd?
Yeah.
The initial argument was about me calling my baby's father's job. He
Yes.
thought that it wasn't rational for me to call and ask for the money back from a bounce check he had written out to me on behalf of my son.
Shh, just a second. Is that what the argument was about, Mr.
No.
Carter?
The whole thing started because of her lying, which it started way before that date. But the constant lying that Kathy's always used to doing, I got fed up with the relationship and I decided to end it.
All right, so you decided to end it.
Yes.
Okay. What do you want to say, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. Miss
Stand up. Stand up.
Ms. Overby states that she called my job. She did not call my job. It was constant harassment.
Good. Sit down. Okay. Mr. Carter, I have to make a judgment based upon both common sense and the information that I have. I find, however, that your actions on the night of the 23rd of March of this year were totally irrational. You decided to end the relationship,
Yes.
and irrespective of how angry you were because she threw your CDs on the floor, you knew that by tossing the keys in a place in the dark where she would never find them, that she'd have difficulty, right?
I told her where the keys. Oh, I said the keys were outside.
You said the keys were outside. Outside is a big place, Mr. Carter. So you knew she'd have difficulty, and you knew she was going to be stranded. So instead of even waiting at your mother's house, you took off through the back door and went to a friend's house, right?
Yes.
And then lo and behold, after she makes the call to AAA that she has no car keys, she comes out and finds 2 tires slashed. That's according not to her. That's according to AAA. Flattened and slashed.
Who's to say she didn't slash the tires?
Because you would have to be an idiot to do that.
Well, they...
No, you'd have to be an idiot to do that. She may allege a lot of things. She may say that you kidnapped her,
Yeah,
which is
so-
baloney because you didn't kidnap you. You got in the car, right? I mean, but part of your counterclaim is you say he kidnapped you. I don't believe that for a minute.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Okay. I find that she had certain out-of-pocket expenses, sir. And her out-of-pocket expenses were $130 for tires. And then you spent a whole night. Who was watching your son during that night?
A babysitter.
Mm-hmm. And this babysitter is someone that you pay by the hour?
Correct.
How much do you pay the babysitter by the hour?
$5 an hour.
Pretty cheap babysitter. What time did you get home the next day?
5 o'clock in the morning.
And what about the evening, being stuck out in a place she's totally unfamiliar with until 5 o'clock in the morning until she finally got herself home? How much do you think that's worth?
I have no idea why she was stuck. I knew nothing about the tires.
You knew about the car keys.
I talked to her that night. I was trying to tell her where the keys was when
Why
I
didn't you
called
go
her.
get the car keys for her instead of telling her where to look for them? Why didn't you say, sorry, I threw them, I'm coming right back, I'll find the keys for you?
She wouldn't give me time. She kept yelling over the phone.
What do you mean she wouldn't give you time?
She wouldn't give me a chance to say anything over
Why
the
don't you get on the
telephone.
phone with your mother and say, listen, she's a little irrational because she doesn't have the keys and I don't want her to be upset. This is where I threw the keys. Why don't you talk to your mother?
Because she had the phone. She wouldn't give anyone else the phone.
Oh, Mr. Carter, you got an answer for a lot of stuff, sir.
You don't know Catherine.
Well, let me ask you this question. Did you call the house or did she call your friend's house?
I called the house.
What'd you call the house for?
I could see if she had left.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
I could see if it was safe to come back home.
So when you called your mother's house, who answered the phone?
My brother did.
So why didn't you tell your brother to go outside, tell him exactly where you threw the keys so that he could give her back the car keys? Why didn't you do that?
Yeah, I should have.
Should have. Right. You should have was going to cost you $883, so I'm dismissing your claim. Do you understand that, Mr. Carter? On the other hand, you owed him some money, right?
Right.
And I've just found that his aggravation that evening cost $883, so your counterclaim likewise is dismissed. Goodbye, folks.
Parties are excused.
31-year-old distribution company manager Johnny Ray Gibson is suing his uncle, 35-year-old Anthony Gibson, for stealing his gold chain and medallion after they had a fist fight.
Order. All rise.
Now, this is case number 66 on the calendar in the matter of Gibson versus Gibson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mr. Gibson, the defendant is your uncle.
Yes, ma'am.
You claim that an incident occurred, that he assaulted you, and during the course of that assault, he ripped a necklace off of your neck and took it.
Necklace and medallion.
Tell me how that happened, sir. And first tell me when.
March 1st. I went over to my auntie's house, and he was over there. When I found out he was over there, tried to shake my hand. We had got into it about a couple weeks before this previously.
You mean you had an argument with him?
A couple weeks before, he busted out her windshield, my girlfriend's windshield out of her car. So we were already on bad terms. Of course, he paid for it, but we were already on bad terms because
Why did he do that? Why did you bust out the windshield on her car?
We had a confrontation. Me and this guy, my nephew, we don't see eye to eye whatsoever.
No, but why did you break out the windshield on her car?
We was fighting. And as he always have done, you know, as a coward, he sucker punches and runs and all this old kind of shit. And I couldn't get to him, excuse me, but I couldn't get to him. You understand me? So I did the next thing, and I broke the window. I don't have no reason to lie whatsoever.
Had you been drinking?
Yes, I had been drinking.
Gotcha. Okay, now on this occasion, you went over to your aunt's house. He was there, and what happened?
he tried to shake my hand like he always do after he does something dumb.
So we try to make up.
Yeah, and I shook him. I went and I called my girlfriend. I told her to meet me. I left out the house to go meet her out in the driveway. She pulls up. He comes out. He had been drinking that day. He comes out, follows me to the car. He comes up. He's like, "Oh, Nana, give me a ride to Crenshaw. Give me a ride to Crenshaw." I'm like, "She not giving you a ride."
Lie.
I'm like, "She not giving you a ride nowhere." Matter of fact, just step back a little bit. So he walks around.
No, I'm going to let you tell me your side of the story, sir.
He walks around to the passenger side of the car and tries to get in the car.
Okay.
That's when I walked around the side and slammed the car shut and was like, "Man, back up off the car." And so then he takes his glasses off. He's like, "Oh, you think you bad? You think you bad in front of your girlfriend?" I was like, "Uncle Tony, back up on me. I don't want no problems. Just leave me alone." He started walking towards me. We start fighting.
When you say fight, you were punching or shoving or what were you doing?
Fighting.
Really
Brawl.
fighting?
Yes.
Fighting with your fists?
Fists, feet, everything. Fighting. So let me see, after that, I backed up. He slammed me a few times on the fence. I punched him a few times. My watch broke. I grabbed my watch. Now my uncle comes and he breaks it up.
Another uncle?
Yes. So he's trying to take my coat. I had a puff coat.
What's a puff coat?
A puff bomber coat. Yeah. So he got my coat in his hand. This is after we done fought like 2 or 3 rounds already. So he's like, "Man, I'll take your coat. I'll take your coat." I'm like, "Man, you ain't about to take nothing." So he's walking away, and my Uncle Gangster is like, "Man, give him his coat." He gets the coat back. I got my coat. I'm walking away with my coat. He's still coming at me. So I turn around. I'm like, "Oh, you ain't had enough?" So we start fighting some more. So before we start fighting, he said something like, "Man, I'll take your chain." I'm like, "Yeah, right. Ain't nobody about to take nothing." So we start fighting again, and somehow he goes in my shirt and rips my chain and medallion off. So now I'm like, "Oh, I can't believe he done ripped my chain and medallion off." I'm like, "Give me my man. Why you tripping? Why you got my chain?" He like, "Man, it's mine now. I took this." I'm like, "You ain't take nothing." So puts it in his pocket. We fight and fight and fight. This fight must have went on for like 20 or 30. We would stop and rest, be out of breath, and fight some more. So finally, after I turned around and started fighting him like the third or fourth time, my Uncle Gangster is like, "Well, y'all
What's his
do
name?
whatever." His name is Gangster.
Your uncle's name is Gangster?
Yeah.
His mother gave him that name? Or is that just what they call him?
We gave him that name.
What's his name?
Gangster.
Okay, so Wayne came out and broke up this brawl.
Yeah, he broke it up one time. He usually break it up every time we fight. He usually break it up. But this time, after I start fighting him again, he was like, "Well, y'all do whatever, just don't come in the house. Y'all keep this out here."
And where's your chain?
In his pocket.
Okay.
It's in his pocket. So I'm trying to get it out of his pocket. So we wrestling and fighting and everything. And finally, when I almost got it out of his pocket, I could have choked him out. One time I'm on his back. I was behind him. I could have choked him out. I'm like, Uncle Tony, I don't want to go through this. I don't want to hurt you, man. I ain't trying to get hurt. Just give me my chain. And he just still, he was drunk. You know, he was drunk. He was just going through it. So finally, I let him go. Then he took the chain out of his pocket and put it in his shoe. Now, I had a few other witnesses that were going to come, but somehow they got scared out of coming.
So what happened after he put your chain and the medallion in his shoe?
I said, "Look, man, give me my chain or I'm going to hurt you for real. It's going to go to another level." He was like, "Man, do what you got to do." So it was a champagne bottle about somewhere in the gutter laying down, and I went and got it. I cracked the bottle, and I went after him, and then my Uncle Gangster, they let him in the house. Well, they let him in the gate. They say they didn't let him in the house. But my aunt and uncle always, they're the only ones in the family that can control him. So I figured that they were going to get my chain and medallion. So after he went in the gate, I was like kind of relieved because they had him. So I went home. And then the next morning, I talked to my little cousin. They told me there was a girl named Kim he sold a chain to. So I don't know what happened to the medallion, but they know.
Mr. Gibson, had you been drinking that day?
No, I haven't. Not that day.
Talking about that day.
Not that day, I haven't.
How old are you?
31.
How old is he?
About 50, I don't know.
How old?
Not that old. No. He's a couple years older than me.
How old are you?
35.
35. So if you knew he was drunk, and you say he was drunk, right?
He's always drunk.
So he's always drunk.
I stay away from him.
Just listen to what I'm saying to you.
When I see him in the house, I left.
Listen to me. If you know he's drunk, and he's acting like a fool, why don't you just leave?
I did.
No, you said you fought with him. You took time. You rested. This thing lost 20 minutes and 30 minutes, and you rested. You got to yourself, and then you went back and you duked it out again, and then you
start fighting.
Why didn't you just leave? Get in the car. Leave. When Uncle Gangster came out, say, "Hold on to him. I'm getting in my car and I'm leaving." I'm just talking about common sense.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Johnny Ray Gibson says during a fist fight with his uncle, Anthony Gibson, a gold chain and medallion were ripped off his neck. Johnny claims his uncle sold the jewelry.
Where's his chain?
I don't have his chain.
No, I know you don't have it now. I asked you where is it.
I did not take his chain.
I know where it's
Judge Judy. I didn't take his chain.
I don't know.
Me and the man got into a fight, true and all. Okay? I left my sister's house. She was in the driveway.
Why'd you leave this?
No, Mr. Gibson. See how quiet he was? That's how quiet you have to be.
He was in the driveway talking to his girlfriend. Okay, yeah, I had been drinking. So I had to go to...
Why do you drink so much, Mr. Gibson?
It wasn't that much.
He got a chemical imbalance, too. He can't even handle this.
Why had you been drinking so much?
I had not been drinking that much.
What time of the day was this?
It's like about 9 in the evening.
All day. He'll start at
But
9.
I had not been drinking all day. Okay? Yes, I had been drinking, and I was a little wobbly. So I said, I was attempting to ask Nina to take me to Crenshaw.
After you had busted the window out of her car?
No, this is a other. That's an old.
But This was after you had broken the window. I
Yeah, and paid
9
for
days.
it.
9 days.
This was after I broke out the window and paid for it and replaced it and everything else. You know what I'm saying? I've been a stand-up man all my life. If I do wrong, I pay for what I do wrong. But I'm not going to be falsely accused. But at the same time, in essence of this here matter, okay, I attempted to ask Nina for a ride to Crenshaw. Johnny came over from where he was talking to her and pushed me. Went back over to her side of the car. Okay? When I walked over to ask Johnny why did he put his hands on me, Johnny socked me in the jaw. Nina said, no, don't do that stuff. You know what I mean? Don't do that. She started up her car and left. Okay? Me and Johnny, we got to fighting. We wrestled to the ground a couple of times. When I came up off the ground, I noticed that my watch was gone and my wallet. Okay? It was 5 other people out there. I can't assume who picked up my wallet or my watch or what have you. Whatever this man is accusing me of taking from him, I did not take. You know, I have a drug history. I used to smoke cocaine. You understand me? I didn't drink, and I still drink. You understand me? But that was my past. I don't smoke cocaine no more. I just got out the penitentiary on the 2nd of June. I've been out on the street 11 months. I have not broke no laws. You understand me? Me and this guy do not see eye to eye. Me and his daddy have had animosity against one another. I guess he feels he has to step up and be his dad's son and challenge me on every aspect that he gets a chance on. You know, I whooped him, as an uncle should do to him disrespecting me. Well, okay, he can say he whooped me. Okay, yeah, okay, you whooped me, whatever. It don't matter. He's lying. I did not take a medallion. I did not take a gold chain. If I took a gold chain, if I took a medallion, I'd say, yeah, I took it, punk. Just like that, because that's how I am. Now you get it back the best way you can. I did not take nothing from this man. Anybody in my family knows me. I'm a crook, yes. I have stolen, but I will say I stole it.
Thank you.
I took it. I'm not trying to paint no pretty picture here. I'm not trying to make you believe that I'm somebody that I'm not. I didn't take nothing from this man.
How many people were outside when you were brawling?
About 5 or 6 other people out there, gangbangers, known gangbangers.
Yeah, and they would have came
known
too.
gangbangers. That's why they didn't come up in here to witness. They ain't gonna come and testify to family altercation. Be for real. You know any crooks gonna testify against a crook? Huh?
You say that he sold this medallion
Yes, ma'am.
to Kim.
She's in jail.
Another crook. See?
Who told you that he sold it to Kim?
My little cousin and her mama.
And why didn't she come and tell the judge
Because
that
ain't
I
nobody,
did that there?
my family is,
Yeah.
ain't,
Just a second. And her mother?
yes.
What's mother's name?
That's one of my older sisters.
Okay. And what's their phone number?
You're scared now.
Now, they're the ones that told you that he had sold this to Kim?
Let me.
No, she said. Oh, excuse me.
Let me tell you something, Judge Judy. Our family, we got one of the biggest family in Inglewood. The next morning when I woke up, everybody in the whole family knew that he had sold it to Kim. You know, it was just those were the ones that.
I want to know. You told me that
They were the
Mika
ones that told
you.
me. They're the ones that told me, but it was a known.
Just a
My
second.
daddy knew.
Just
and
a
my daddy knew.
second. You're telling me that was the one who told you.
Yes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Are you supposed to be taking medication?
I used to, you know, but I don't need it anymore.
It's crazy.
Shh. Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Johnny Ray Gibson says during a fist fight with his uncle, Anthony Gibson, a gold chain and medallion were ripped off his neck. Johnny claims his uncle sold the jewelry.
Okay, so I spoke to both and Johnny says, sir, that she did discuss the chain with you the next day, but that it was you who told her that the word in the family was that he had sold the chain to Kim. She didn't tell that to you, you told it to her. Now you want to tell me who else in the family had told that to you?
Let me just say something right now, Judge Judy. My family is not about to tell on him. You know, come from a family of gangsters and stuff like that, I'm sure you probably, you know, can't really understand. But ain't nobody about to tell on him. But bottom line, he did it. He did that.
Did you make a police report? I'm just asking you. I mean, it's police. It's not a bad thing.
No, I didn't make. Ain't no. No.
So you
No.
didn't.
I
didn't think
couldn't.
so, but it's my responsibility to ask.
No.
Okay. Where did you get this chain and medallion from?
I got the chain from Inglewood swap meet, but I got the medallion first when my grandma died. I went up north, and my little brother gave it to me. My little brother's like 21, 22. He gave it to me.
What does it look like? Is it a gold medallion?
It was a gold medallion with 31 surrounded by 31 diamonds. It was 2.45 carats.
Can I see it, please?
Okay. Here goes some pictures of it. There, there, there. If you notice in every photo, when I had it on, where I was in my underwear, sleeping, I had it on. Just waking up.
How much did you purchase the chain for at the swap meet?
Oh, here's the receipt. I got them a chain. It was really a little cheap chain, $170.
You work, Johnny?
Yes, I do.
Have you been working, Tony?
No, I'm on a fixed income.
From?
SSI.
What's the nature of your disability?
It's crazy.
Shh. I didn't ask you.
I don't function as well as other folks do. You know what I'm saying?
Especially when you get alcohol in the system.
Are you supposed to be taking medication?
I used to. When I was in Patton, I took some medication. I was taking Haldol and a Cogentin, you know, but I don't need it anymore.
You don't need it anymore because you feel as if you don't need it, or because the doctor says...
They took me off of it. See, when I was in Patton, you know, it's a policy that you must take medication while in the hospital. That was due to one of my antics when I was, you know, doing things that I'm being falsely accused of here today. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm a saint, but I didn't do what this man is accusing me of.
Your Honor, if I may say something, his whole history, his whole MO is doing this, taking stuff from people.
Listen to me. Johnny, I want you to pay attention. Do you believe that a mental disability is a disability? That you're sick, just as sick if you have a mental disability than if you have a broken arm or a bad liver or a bad kidney?
This man is sane as me and you, Judge Judy.
You just told me a moment ago.
He's crazy, but
he's crazy
when he has alcohol in him. But I kick it with him when he ain't drinking, he cool. He just like him or any
well,
other.
but that's, listen to me, but then that's a problem.
I already know he got a chemical imbalance when he drinks, when he drinks.
So he was drinking.
That's why I left. I went right in,
but you got,
I walked right out.
Yeah, I know. But then you got into mixing it up with him, which you shouldn't have done, because if he's sick, if he's got a chemical imbalance, which is what you say, when he drinks, and you knew he was drinking, then you knew at that time he wasn't thinking clearly. He wasn't thinking clearly. It's just like any other illness, as if somebody hit him over the head and he was unconscious, because he's not himself. So then you, being straight, you were not drinking, you told me that day.
Yeah.
You just get away from it, but you got angry. That's why you mixed it up with him.
He broke the windshield 9 days before
I
this.
understand that, but you told me he had been drinking.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Tony, listen to me. You get yourself into trouble when you drink. And according to you, you've been incarcerated at least once, right? Probably more. And you had a drug problem. And all of these things should suggest to you that you need some sort of assistance. You've been getting it from alcohol, you've been getting it from illegal drugs in the past. So if you should be on a Haldol, or you should be on some other kind of regimented medication, it's ridiculous for you, you know, to go through your life trying to find substitutes for what could very easily be a pill that you take 3 times a day. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay. I think that your nephew here is just fed up. I don't think he did the right thing that day by not walking away.
I did.
But I believe that whether or not you remember it, you took his chain, something that he treasured. You paid $170 for the chain, and I'm going to give you $2,500.